Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Today is Thursday, April 16th, and we are coming off a heater yesterday on April 15th. We won 8 out of the 11 bets we placed in Major League Baseball, and we won both bets we had in the Champions League. So, a massive day of profit yesterday for the show. Really exciting times. And so we want to keep that momentum going right here into this Thursday, April 16th. So without any further ado, let me get you my plays in Major League Baseball for this Thursday, April 16th. So let's take a look at the ball games here today. Hope you're all enjoying Major League Baseball at this moment. Some great games are going on. Last night, oh my gosh, the Padres coming back from down 6-0. That was a fun one. Helped us cash that ticket. Dodgers exploding late. That was a fun one. We had a lot of really good bets yesterday, obviously winning 8 out of the 11 and then winning both bets in the Champions League. So here we go. First game on the board, Nationals, Pirates. I am not betting on this game. This is a straight pass for me. I like both starting pitchers. It's very small sample size for Foster Griffin for the Nationals. He's just coming back to Major League Baseball, and he's pitched very well so far. 3 outings. He shut down the LA Dodgers. He shut down the Milwaukee Brewers. And he also shut down somebody else. But I can't remember off the top of my head. It was the Philadelphia Phillies. Those are 3 pretty good offenses that he shut down. Now, the Pirates have struggled against lefties this year. Their OPS is in the 660s against lefties. So Foster Griffin has pitched well. The Pirates have not hit lefties well. On the other side, you have Braxton Ashcraft, who's been very good for the Pirates. 3 quality starts for Ashcraft. Went 6 innings, 2 earned runs against Cincinnati. 6 innings, 1 earned run against Baltimore. 5 innings, 1 earned run against Chicago Cubs. So he's pitching very well. I think for me, this game is really, really tough to call. I don't want to back the Pirates here because I don't trust them to score runs against a left-handed pitcher, especially a guy in Foster Griffin who's been pitching well against 3 good offenses to start the year. I don't want to back the Nationals because I do think the Pirates have a starting pitching advantage and a bullpen advantage. And I don't want to bet the over because I can't trust the Pirates to score runs on Foster Griffin. So I'm passing on this game. There's not really any certain, and there's nothing certain there for me. All right, next up, Giants and Reds. Landon Roop against Chase Burns, and I do have a bet in this game. Both these starting pitchers have started off the year really well, except for one start. They've both pitched in 3 starts so far. Landon Roop at San Diego, 6 innings, no runs allowed. Really, really good. Just 2 hits allowed in that game. Then he went back home and faced the New York Mets. 4.2 innings pitched, 5 earned runs allowed on 7 hits. Not his best outing, but then back on the road at Baltimore, 6 innings pitched, just the 1 earned run allowed. So he's been really solid on the road this year. He gets a really, really good matchup here today against this Cincinnati Reds offense that has been anemic, and that might be an understatement. The Reds right now batting with a 651 total OPS, a 619 OPS, a 671 OPS at home. And against righties, a 641 OPS. They've struggled against righties. Their offense has been horrible. Their offense has been terrible. On the other side, you've got Chase Burns, who is a really highly touted prospect for the Cincinnati Reds. And he's got elite stuff. He, just like Landon Roop, had 2 good starts and 1 bad start. He shut down the Pirates at home, 5 innings pitched, no earned runs allowed, just 1 hit allowed in that game. Then he shut down the Rangers at Texas, 6 innings pitched, just the 1 earned run allowed. Comes back and faces the Angels at home and gets absolutely hammered. 5 1/3 innings of work, 5 earned runs allowed. So I think it's a much, much better matchup for him today against the San Francisco Giants than it was against the Angels. These Giants on the road with a 694 OPS as a team and a 606 OPS against right-handed pitching. They have not hit righties. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. Give me the first 5 innings under 4 at -115 for 1.05 units. And the reasoning here, I like both starting pitchers. Both offenses have been terrible to start the year. I don't want to bring either bullpen into this bet at all. Do not bring the bullpens in. Isolate it to the first 5 innings. These are two good starting pitchers against two bad offenses. Under 4, minus 115 for 1.05 units in the first 5 innings. Okay, let's move on to the next bet here on the board for us today. Royals Tigers. This one taking place in Detroit. We've gotten each of the first 2 games in this series correct. We had Detroit money line both days, and it cashed both days. Now we got Chris Bubich on the mound for the Royals. You got Cater Montero on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. I really like Chris Bubich. This guy has been lights out to start this year. Just a quick look at his game logs. 6 innings of work against Minnesota at home. Just 1 earned run allowed on 2 hits. Then he faced Milwaukee at home. 5 innings of work. 4 earned runs allowed. Not great. But then against Chicago White Sox, 7 innings of work, 0 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, just 1 walk and 2 hits. So he's pitched very well all year long. And he goes up against a Detroit offense that has really struggled against left-handed pitching this year. They have a team OPS of 537 against lefties. Now, it's a small sample size, and last year they hit very well against lefties. But I think Bubich can stifle their offense. I really think Bubich can pitch well here. On the other side of the equation, it will be for the Detroit Tigers, Cater Montero. And Montero has also been off to a very good start this year. He pitched against St. Louis, 4 1/3 innings of work, 2 earned runs allowed. Not great. But then pitched against Miami, 6 innings of work, no earned runs, 2 hits, and 7 strikeouts in the game. So he's been really solid this year, and he gets a very favorable matchup against a Kansas City offense that has been terrible. Team OPS of 526 on the road this year. They have only won 2 out of 8 games on the road this year. They're terrible on the road. A team OPS of 658 against right-handed pitching. So I think that both starting pitchers can pitch well. And it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So I went ahead and took the under 8 at minus 105. You know, the Royals bullpen does scare me a little bit. There's no doubt about that. But I think Bubich can go deep enough into this game to where he can maybe protect that bullpen a little bit. And then both offenses in this specific situation, Tigers against lefties have been really bad. And the Royals on the road have been really bad. So a fade of both offenses here, and we're back in both starting pitchers, and we're back in both bullpens. Under 8, minus 105 for a unit in that game. Royals at Tigers. Okay, moving on to the next opportunity on the board here for today. Angels-Yankees, I passed on this game. It's going to be Sam Alderweireld for the Angels. That has not been confirmed yet, but that seems like the most likely option for them. And then Max Fried for the Yankees. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, the Yankees are too heavily favored here. I would like to bet the Yankees. I think they've got a huge starting pitching edge, a huge bullpen edge, a huge lineup edge. Jorge Soler is suspended for this game. Big loss for the Angels in the middle of their lineup. I'm not going to be involved here because I don't know what we're going to see from Sam Alderweireld. He's been terrible in AAA. He's got like a 10.8 ERA so far in AAA Salt Lake this year. I mean, I want to bet the Yankees, but the price is way too expensive. There's no way in heck I could bet the Angels here with that starting pitching matchup. And I can't take an over because Max Fried is likely to deal. I can't take an under because starting pitching for the Angels is probably really bad. So overall, this is a game I do not like. I would recommend to not bet on that game. All right, Blue Jays and Brewers. Patrick Corbin against Brandon Sproat. Both these guys have struggled. Okay, we'll just put it like that. Patrick Corbin, only 1 start this year. It was at home against Minnesota. 4 innings pitched. 4 earned runs on 6 hits. Not very good. And, I mean, you can look at his numbers from last year with Toronto. Or no, I'm sorry, with Texas. He made 30 starts, had a 1.36 whip, and a 4.4 ERA. So not terrible, but definitely not great. It's pretty bad, I would say, actually. For Sproat, on the other side, he's been horrible to start this year. It's been a really rough go of it for Brandon Sproat. He's going to be looking to bounce back and turn it around in this next outing, but I have serious doubts as to whether or not he's going to do that. Against the White Sox at home, 3 innings of work, 7 earned runs allowed on 6 hits, with 4 walks, by the way. At Kansas City, 3.2 innings of work, 4 earned runs allowed, 3 walks, 4 hits. I mean, the walks are just a big problem for him. And then at home against Washington, 3 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, but 4 hits, 3 walks. So for me, I think the Blue Jays offense can definitely score off of him. I think that the Brewers offense can definitely get to Patrick Corbin. So give me the over here. Over 8.5, minus 105 for a unit. 2 starting pitchers who I don't trust at all. 2 offenses that I like. I think the Blue Jays bullpen is pretty average to mediocre, so I think they can definitely help this total get over. And then we've seen the Brewers bullpen struggle early on this year, closing games out. So give me the over 8.5 total runs, minus 105 in the Blue Jays against the Brewers game for a unit. Okay, next up on the board. Let's see what the next game is here. Okay, Rays White Sox. I have a bet in this game. It's going to be Steven Matz against Jordan Leisure as the opener for the White Sox. Leisure is going to hand it off to Anthony Kay, who will take over in bulk relief. The Rays have won the first 2 games of this series quite comfortably. They got Steven Matz going on the mound for them in this game. He, so far this year, 5 innings against St. Louis, 4 earned runs allowed on 6 hits. Not great. But then at Minnesota, 6 innings of work, just 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, just 2 hits and 2 walks allowed. And then against the Yankees, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts in that game. So he's coming off of 2 really good starts, is Steven Matz. For the White Sox, Anthony Kay has actually pitched well this year. So something that we got to be careful of and be wary of. You know, I do still think that Steven Matz is the better option. I do believe that Steven Matz is a better pitcher than Anthony Kay. I give the Rays a starting pitching edge. I give the Rays an offensive edge, and I don't think it's relatively close at all. I mean, you look at Tampa Bay on the road this year, they have really hit well away from home. 768 OPS away from home, a 736 team OPS overall, and they're hitting lefties at a 705 OPS clip. Not great, but it's serviceable. You look at the White Sox numbers, and it's disgustingly bad. I mean, a 590 team OPS. At home, it's just 624. And then against right-handed pitchers, 567. I'm sorry, that doesn't matter. But against lefties, 655. So this White Sox offense is terrible. I think the Rays have the better starting pitcher and the better offense. Give me the Rays money line at minus 125. Let's not overcomplicate it. We're taking that for 1.05 units. Rangers Athletics. This was a pass for me. I did not like this game at all. Jack Leiter is on the mound for the Texas Rangers, and I don't trust him on the road. If you look at his splits from last year, I just don't trust him on the road. He was not as good on the road last year as he was at home. I'll pull up the stats here so I can put words to this. You know what? So last year, a 4.24 ERA with a 1.35 whip on the road compared to at home, 3.49 ERA, 1.22 whip. So he was better at home last year. I don't necessarily want to back him on the road in a very hitter-friendly ballpark, Sutter Health Park there in Sacramento. I think the A's can probably score runs off of him. And then as far as the other side goes, it's Jacob Lopez for the A's, and he has been god-awful to start this season. It's been really rough to watch him out there on the mound. So, Jacob Lopez, I want to pull up his numbers here. Sorry, I'm loading. This computer is slow. This computer is very slow. I'm loading it, though. I'm loading it up here. So, let's take a look. Okay, here we go. So, Jacob Lopez, 1-1, a 7.43 ERA so far in 3 starts this year. He went 4 innings, allowing 3 earned runs with 5 walks at Atlanta, and then against Houston at home, 4 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs allowed, 5 walks again. I mean, the walks have been a problem. And then at New York Mets, 5 innings, 5 earned runs allowed, 7 hits allowed, 3 walks allowed. He's walking way too many guys. I don't trust him at all. However, problem is, I don't think the Texas Rangers can score runs against him because they're batting 182 with a 516 OPS against left-handed pitching this year. So you've got a terrible starting pitcher for the A's against a terrible offense for the Rangers against lefties. I mean, what am I supposed to do there? I have no idea what's going to happen there. So, yeah, I'm not confident in that game, and I don't have a bet in that game. Simple. I don't want to be involved in a game where I have no clue what's going to happen, and there's so much variance. I mean, the A's bullpen is terrible. The A's pitcher is terrible. But the Rangers are terrible against lefties. So, and then Jack Leiter is worse on the road. So it's like, can't back the A's because their bullpen is so bad, and Jacob Lopez has been so bad. Can't back the Rangers because they can't hit lefties. Can't take the over because the Rangers can't hit lefties. Can't take the under because both pitchers have been horrible. So, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Next game, Orioles-Guardians. I do have a bet in this game, and betting on Guardians games has not been kind to me. It's actually making me very angry over the last 3 days. 2 days ago, they choked a game in one of the most disgusting fashions I've ever seen. They should have won the game, and they choked it. Their second baseman, Brito, booted the ball. It was the last out of the game. Routine ground ball right to him. He misses it. Next pitch, wild pitch. And then the next pitch after that, base hit into center field. Guy scores. Game's tied. Game should have been over. They had a routine ground ball with 2 outs in the 9th inning. All you had to do was field it and throw it to first base. They couldn't even do that. So, and then yesterday, I had the over in that game between the Guardians and the Cardinals. And there were 15 runners left on base. And the game ended at 8 runs. I needed over 8.5 runs. So betting on Guardians games has really made me angry the last 3 days. But we're going to try to do it again here. Shane Baz for the Orioles against Parker Messick for the Cleveland Guardians. I like both starting pitchers in this spot. Parker Messick, I mean, let's give this guy a round of applause, man. This guy has been ridiculously good against the Dodgers. 6 innings, no earned runs allowed, no walks in LA. Nobody does that, especially a rookie like this guy. Against the Chicago Cubs, 5 innings, 1 earned run allowed, 6 strikeouts, just 2 hits allowed in that game. And then at Atlanta, 6 2/3 innings of work, 0 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. So he's shut down 3 really good offenses already to start his career. On the other side of him, it's going to be... Sorry, I have to pull this up. It's going to be Shane Baz. So Shane Baz has been solid. And he was a guy last year that was much better on the road compared to at home. He's coming off of 2 pretty good outings. He struggled against Minnesota in late March, a couple weeks ago. 5 1/3, 4 earned runs on 7 hits. Pitched very well against Pittsburgh, 5 2/3, just the 1 earned run allowed. And then he was okay against San Francisco. 5 innings of work, 3 earned runs allowed. For me, I like both bullpens. Both bullpens should have most of their big dogs rested and ready to go. I like both starting pitchers. And the offenses in these spots, I think, are set up for failure. Okay? First, we'll start off with Cleveland. They have not been a great offense to start the year. Team OPS of 697, and they're batting 6. They have a 691 OPS against righties. So I think this is a spot where Shane Baz could pitch well. And then on the other side for Baltimore, they have been terrible on the road. A 669 OPS on the road, a 230 batting average. And dating back to last year, they could not hit lefties. They had a 661 OPS against lefties, batted 231 against lefties last year. So I do think adding Taylor Ward and Pete Alonso to this lineup really makes them a lot better against left-handed pitching. And we've seen that so far this year. So take that maybe with a grain of salt. I mean, they've hit lefties very well so far to start this year with a 796 team OPS. But this is Parker Messick. He's off to a great start. I trust him. I trust the bullpens for both sides. So I'm taking the under here. Give me the under 8 runs at -115 in the Orioles at the Guardians game for 1.05 units. I trust both starting pitchers. I'm going to fade both offenses, and I like both bullpens as well. Okay, moving on to the next spot on the card. We're getting close here to the end. Man, the computer continues to lag. Rockies-Astros is a straight pass for me. It's Juan Mejia against Ryan Weiss, two terrible starting pitchers who we don't have much information on. Astros offense is better than the Rockies offense. Both bullpens are terrible. I don't want to lay a bunch of juice with the Astros here. I don't want to take an over because I don't trust the Rockies to score runs on the road. And I don't want to back the Rockies because, again, I don't trust the Rockies pitching. I don't trust their hitting. I don't trust anything. So, yeah, I'm not betting on that game. Last game that I'm betting on here today is the Seattle Mariners at the San Diego Padres. And this was one of my favorite wins I've had all year yesterday. Padres were down 6-0, and it was great to see. I watched the highlights. Those Padre fans didn't give up. You know, a lot of other teams down 6-0, they would just give up. They'd say, you know what, it's been a rough night. We'll get them back tomorrow. Guess what? Those Padre fans did not give up. They kept the energy in that building. It was 6-0 late in the game. Bogarts hits that home run, and the crowd went crazy. It seemed like most people stayed until the last pitch there, which, you know what? Give them a round of applause. Give San Diego a round of applause. That was awesome what they did last night. Andres Munoz, thank you very much for blowing the save. We appreciate that. And, so today, Luis Castillo for the Mariners, Walker Buehler for the Padres. Historically, Luis Castillo is much worse on the road, away from T-Mobile Park, and that makes sense. The comforts of his home ballpark, also being a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, helps him there at home. On the road, he's been much worse. So I think the Padres offense can definitely get to Luis Castillo. And let's not forget to mention that Castillo so far this year has looked pretty bad. Okay, 3 2/3 innings against the Angels, 3 earned runs allowed. Against Houston, 7 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings of work. So he's been really bad to start this year. Let's just pull up the numbers for him on the road last year so you guys can get a quick view into how much of a difference it was. At home last year, a 2.60 ERA, a 0.97 whip. Are you ready for this? On the road, a 4.71 ERA, a 1.46 whip. He is a different pitcher on the road, completely. As for the San Diego Padres, they're going to send Walker Buehler to the mound. And Walker Buehler, you know, at this stage of his career, definitely not the same guy he was, 5 years ago, but still a guy who can go out there and give you a serviceable outing. And I think he's the better option here, which is crazy to say. I really do think he is the better option. So far at home this year, he's been okay. 10 innings of work, has allowed 3 earned runs on 8 hits with just 2 walks. He's doing a good job. He shut down the Rockies in his last outing. And so I think he can do well here against a struggling Mariners offense who have really been bad on the road. Seattle Mariners offense on the road this year, 536 team OPS. They are 1-7 on the road this year. They have lost 7 out of their 8 games on the road. Meanwhile, the Padres have won 9 of their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. Actually, maybe it's 7 in a row after last night. I think they've got a starting pitching advantage. I think they've got an offensive advantage. And I think they've got a bullpen advantage. And guess what? We're getting plus money on them. Give me the Padres money line at plus 105. This is one of my favorite plays of the day for a unit. So let's recap the 6 bets I have placed for today, Thursday, April 16th. First up, under 8 runs in the Kansas City Royals at the Detroit Tigers, minus 105 for 1 unit. Then we're going to head to Milwaukee. We're going to take the over 8.5 total runs in the Toronto Blue Jays at the Milwaukee Brewers for a unit at minus 105. And then we're going to take the Tampa Bay Rays minus 125 on the money line for 1.05 units to beat the Chicago White Sox. Then we're going to take the under 8 runs at minus 115 for 1.05 units in the Baltimore Orioles at the Cleveland Guardians game. And then we'll take the under 4 minus 115 in the first 5 innings for the Giants at the Reds game for 1.05 units. And then we'll round it out tonight with the Padres money line for a unit at plus 105. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out my Instagram. It has all my picks and predictions on my story. I'm also going to post that here on my YouTube channel as well today. We're coming off of a huge day yesterday. Won 8 out of 11 bets in MLB. We won our last 4 bets in the Champions League. We are on fire right now. Let's keep that run going. Thanks so much, guys, and see you tomorrow.